So, my final reader is Chelsea Comeau, who I had the pleasure of reading with at the Vancouver Public Library Canada branch. And she is a freelance writer and editor whose work has appeared in the Claremont Review, Quills, and CB2. In 2011, Amber Tamblyn selected her as winner of the Bus Magazine Poetry Contest. In 2015, she was the Canadian winner of the Leaf Press Chapbook Contest. Do you have these books available for purchase?
You know, I'm sold out.
So,
That's good.
She currently poetry editor at Wordworks Magazine and attends poetry retreats with Patrick Lane and Norman Croce. Chelsea, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to start with a poem called When I Lie the Night Beside Pit River. I go back to my own wildness. In tall grass, the frogs fill their throats with longing. I roll my coat beneath my head, unfold your mother's plaid blanket. There is so little. I know of wild dogs here, of owls with faces like hearts. Perseids and I, we are both burning. The morning of his biopsy. My father, quiet, washed his hair in the bathroom sink. In darkness, he bought the newspaper through a window, a cup of coffee. A crow in the parking lot tore meat from a chicken bone. In the blue light, my father read about a man in Sarnia who put pillows over his children's faces while they slept. It rained a little. The yellow flowers outside the gas station opened. The biopsy was negative, by the way, so my dad's okay. This next poem was inspired after a conversation over lunch with a poet named Patrick Lane. He taught me how to read people's leftovers like an oracle card on their plate. It's called After Supper. He reads in the crumbs on his wife's plate her fortune. Even the spoon, its angle on the napkin beside her, is important. That she turns her knife outward when the bread is buttered, sucks pulp from the lemon rind in her water glass. How she leaves so little behind. Salt, perhaps, bones. And the next two are poems that I actually read last night at the Jewish Community Center. We had to write to artwork that was in the gallery, and they actually had work by Marc Chagall and Salvador Dali. So there's some really great art to write to, and the theme last night was the Bible, which is something that I have kind of a complicated relationship with, I guess. So this first one doesn't have a title. It's called Untitled right now. They said, "No, you could not have been pulled, slip wet from the clamshell by Raven. She slept in the rafters of Noah's Ark, the boat which housed all of Earth's beasts, while the whole world was swallowed by sea. They said, you will not speak the names of your grandfathers. You will forget the song you sing each morning when the tide rocks you side to side and you ease your nets into the river. We will hunt your moose, your pheasants. We will use so little." They said, "Shear yourselves as sheep. Wear the clothes we've sewn with our clean hands. Read this book. Here, we will teach you." And atonement. The nuns piled books on our outstretched hands until we shook with the weight of our sins. 6 Bibles I held, embossed with gold. 6 times Jesus died in my arms. Outside, the other girls jumped rope, rattled off a litany of martyrs, saints, their skirts flailing perfectly as they leapt towards the sky, God. This is another Bible poem. It's called Eve. I will write her a new story, in which she sprung from her own bones, born perfect, whole, in which the blame she carries was shared. I will write her a new story in which her weakness becomes choice, the perfect garden too easy, the first woman enough, the world beyond Eden in need of her fire. And just do one more. It's called We Wept in the Car on the Way to the Funeral. We wept in the car on the way to the funeral. Bob Dylan played on the radio. My brother drove, both hands clamped, flesh stretched thin over his bones. A deer around the corner stepped into the road. When my brother swerved, they locked eyes, shared silence, one animal to another. Bob Dylan sang, the car spun, nose first into the ditch that flanked the street. Lay, lady, lay. The funeral began without us, our grandmother, Sean, in a box at the front of the church. The deer in the road, unmoved. My brother bled from his forehead, said, oh God, shit, the sound of him like prayer. So process. Right now I'm writing in the morning as well. I'm getting up hours before I have to be at work and getting to the school where I work at way before everyone else so I can sit and write. I have a bird at home who's like geriatric. She's lived about 5 years longer than she's supposed to, and she's had 12 strokes and she's completely blind. So I take care of her a lot at home, so I don't have time to write as much when I'm at home, so I either have to leave the house.
How big is the bird?
She's a lovebird, yeah. She's really awesome. She's really cool. She really is. And she runs around the floor and bumps into stuff and then turns around and runs the other way.
That's like having a kid.
It's like having a toddler. She's so needy and she's really sweet and I love her, but she really gets in the way of writing sometimes. So I write in the morning before work and then I work with kids with special needs during the day. So I come home kind of exhausted too. But I write as much as I can. I write every day. I read a lot while I'm writing, so if I'm writing poetry, then I have to be reading poetry. If I'm writing short fiction, I have to be reading short fiction. Yeah, and I get the snippets too, and I try and write them down, and try not to get in trouble for reading on my phone at work, because that's where I can write it in the notepad. Yeah, and I just write all the time. And I'm starting to submit a lot more, and I've got a manuscript sitting with different publishers, waiting to hear back from them. And Danielle and I were just talking about this, how the best thing to do while you're waiting to hear back is to just keep writing.
Forget about it.
Yeah, and just forget
Yeah,
about
you
it,
wait.
which is hard.
Because that life is short.
Yeah. So I guess something unrelated that I'm interested in is birds, of course. I don't know if you've seen it on the news, but the World Parrot Refuge in Comeau over on the island closed a little while ago. So I volunteered over the summer with some of the rescued birds from there. And the vet who helped rescue the birds is my birds vet. She's Dr. McDonald down on West Broadway in Maple, and she's super amazing. She saved Buffy's life on like 3 different occasions.
Buffy?
Yeah, Buffy is her vampire slayer. And she's donated a bunch of time and money. They've spent over $250,000 trying to rescue these birds. There was over 500 birds rescued, and most of them were very, very ill because conditions at the refuge were terrible. The woman who owned it became a hoarder, and she passed away, and her husband said, I'm either going to leave the doors open and let the birds go, or I'm going to euthanize them all. So, yeah, my vet stepped in and saved them, and they're all really amazing. Some of them are still in need of homes, and they're needing donations, so shameless plug, if anyone is interested, you can look up the Night Owl Bird Hospital.
Night owl?
Yeah, Night Owl Bird.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, they're super amazing. They work so hard. My vet is there like 7 days a week, and
They have different kinds of birds.
yeah, they're all yeah, they'll rescue wild birds too. I was in there one day and a bald eagle came through the door wrapped in a towel. So I mean, like they'll rescue anything. Yeah, pretty much. And they're like, when Buffy has been staying there when she's been really sick, we've gotten calls at like 10 o'clock at night from them checking in on what she's doing. So they're really, really amazing. They're really great. Yeah, so that's my other interest besides writing birds.
Wow. Do you write about birds?
Yeah, actually, the manuscript that's waiting for a publisher has a whole section of bird poems.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Isn't that interesting? 3 poets, and all 3 of us talk about birds, you with your crows, you have starlings and crows, and you have a manuscript.
Birds are magic.
That's very interesting.
I'm also interested in birds too, and I will be including them in my fiction piece. So.
Very magical.
I guess, yeah, they have a very creative effect on people. Like, what is it about?
I've always loved
Birds.
birds. I've been a bird watcher for about 20 years now. My uncle used to take me out when I was little, and we used to go look for like owls and things. Got birds tattooed on my arms. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, when you send a submission, you're sending the manuscript out,
Yeah.
have you sent poems from the manuscript out individually, or have some of those already been?
Some of them are in some chapbooks that have been edited by Patrick Lane. So a couple of them are out there, and some of them are from my chapbook actually that got published in the press. So there are a couple out there. Probably not as many as I'd like, but that's what I'm working on. I was really getting new stuff out to magazines for my next book.
That's the other thing I always wondered about is, if you have a manuscript you're working on, and you send some of the pieces out because you want to test them to the writers and see what it is. And at a point, like, where do you decide, okay, that's enough, I don't want any more of them out there, or I don't want any more of them published because I don't want this manuscript to be made up of.
Unless the publisher has a specific requirement that a certain percentage of the manuscript should not be published. I don't know why, or most of them want to see you have it published, and they want that confirmation that you actually did the work. But I've never really encountered anybody who said, I've only maybe once seen a publisher say 30% of my manuscript should not be published.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
But I've only once somewhere, and I don't know where, if it was a Canadian or
Who's
American.
ever gonna know? Like, I mean, that's not what I always used
Well,
to.
because you acknowledge. You
Well,
gotta have
sure,
to,
but your
right?
poems have been
Right.
published here, 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 and here. But
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if anyone even crunches
Is
the
it actually
numbers.
correct?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I would never worry about that.
I'm all about pouring out every poem. Every poem.
I'm like,
You
yeah.
gotta
every
pick out
poem,
the
every
niche.
short
I know,
story.
I actually was looking through my new manuscript that I sent out. I could barely find ones I hadn't published. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
how come they're not picking
Pick
me
the niche.
up?
That's what she's for.
But I have a question for you. I've known you for quite a while, and you were such an you were one of our like in Pandora's Collective, our like youth poets, and you grew into this amazing adult poet. But I've also heard of you talk about Patrick Lane a lot. What does he do for you? I'm really curious about when
Oh
you
my
get
gosh.
attached like that to a muse or like a mentor or whatever it is.
Well, I've been lucky enough to work with Patrick and his wife Lauren Crozier. I do retreats with them, and they were actually the first two poets that I ever read when I was about 12 years old. And they're the ones who made me want to become writers. And then a few years ago, I saw that Patrick did these retreats, and it just blew my mind. I couldn't even imagine being in the same place as him, let alone for like 4 days at a time. So I got myself on the waiting list, and then I got into them, and then I've been going ever since. And now Lauren is as well. And I went to the Banff Center with Lauren as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've been my favorite writers since.
That's on my bucket list too, but
It's amazing. Oh my gosh, yeah.
there was a lineup. I think I tried it once and there was a
Yeah,
lineup.
the waiting lists are pretty huge, and the cost
For the
is pretty big.
workshops. They've got lineup. Are they on the island? Yes.
Yeah, they're just outside like Couch in Honeymoon Bay, and they are expensive.
Yeah. And you have to have a whole week, at least a week.
You're there for 4 days. You get there. It starts on a Thursday and it finishes on a Sunday, and then you go home Sunday afternoon. So
I think it's lovely to have that.
it's amazing, and I mean they're two of the best poets in Canada. So it's like you learn a lot. My writing has changed so much since beginning with them, and the editing techniques that you learn. Patrick can sit there. You can read your poem from the night before, and it's the first time he's ever heard it. He's not looking at it, and he can pick out specific lines, tell you what to rearrange. Like in just the one reading, he can tell you so much about your poem. It's just, it's mind blowing.
So you've learned a lot about editing from
Yes,
that process.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Chelsea did a workshop for us at Burnaby Writers.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like the information was so incredible. And it's like every time I write, I have like all the things that she taught me, that she learned in my head. Yeah, it's really a game changer. Like,
Yeah, I'm coming to the point where I want just somebody else to teach me something because I've been doing this a lot and I'm teaching others.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I just want somebody to teach me.
It makes
Something,
such a difference.
please.
Absolutely.
It's like to fill my reservoir.
Well, that's an interesting point. I mean, you know, especially when you have been publishing for quite a while, you have to find ways to keep, you know, growing out of what you've been doing and coming to the next level of
Do we ever, like, I mean, that's a question for all poets and writers, I guess, in the room. Like, do you ever feel like you're stuck in a little skin that people have given you and you can't break out of it? Like, you feel like you're
Not
trapped?
It's coming.
Like, I'm beginning to feel a little bit of that. You know, whoa, I'm moving on.
I mean, we
do it to ourselves
sometimes, though.
Someone was taught, this is kind of tangentially related, but I wonder about, somebody was talking about the poet Erin Moray and then how she used to be much more linear
Yeah.
than she is now. And the person's like, yeah, 'cause she used to work on trains. Like she used to work for the CN Rail. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I bet my poetry would totally change if I stopped taking the bus. Right? Like, but I can't
That's
do it.
interesting,
Like,
yeah.
like if I started biking everywhere, different.
You'll be like Jen Curry.
Yeah.
You'll be writing little fragments.
Yeah, but we already have a Jen Curran.
I know. Is somebody burning the cheese here? What's going on? Do you smell that cheese smell? It's
I don't smell the cheese
Probably
smell,
my
but
phone
there's
burning
cheese
that.
here.
No, like the burning cheese.
Oh,
smell.
burning cheese. I don't know what the burning cheese smell would
Okay.
smell like.
Second act.
My phone's on.
If someone's making burning cheese, I'd be into that.
I worry when I smell the burning cheese. That was a Grand
Pizza, you
Island.
shouldn't worry, it's just pizza.
So Chelsea, do you feel that too?
Well, I used to be the bird girl for a long time. Yeah, it was all bird poems all the time, and so everyone expected bird poems, and they typically expect really short poems from me, which I'm still stuck in, because I have a hard time writing longer poems.
I was stuck in like haiku phase when I was traveling for 20 days. I couldn't write anything but a haiku, and I didn't know how to break out of that until I started stringing like 8 haikus in a row, and that's how I got into the longer
You know
poems.
what you do? You just make them into 2-line poems and say they're guzzles. Because that's what everyone does now. Like everyone's like, oh, it's a guzzle.
Not
I'm like,
everyone did it.
not really. Because like a guzzle is like, you know,
What is a guzzle?
2-line stanzas.
Yeah.
Wow.
A guzzle is like
They're
they're
kind of fragment
they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
but like and they're only loosely associated.
Okay.
And people are like, but like the actual traditional, I think it was in Farsi,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guzzle like you would have to end with like the poet's signature and stuff. But no one now people just write these little 2-line poems. I'm like, you're just being lazy.
Yeah, that's I'm the greatest too. I'm like get 4 lines in. I'm like I don't know what else to say.
I know.
Actually, you inspire me, Daniela, because some of your longer poems, and remember trying to write. I'm like I have to write longer poems, and I was trying to think of like how.
It's almost like your mind gets in
Yeah.
a certain form,
You have to
just
challenge
like
yourself.
redirect.
Yeah.
Can I get a
But
second?
I was called, like, the people thought about that I was, you know, crazy about crows, so they really gave me gifts with crows. So I had at one point a mug and a handkerchief in the form of a book with crows on the outside, and that you can blow your nose in. And I'm like, how can I blow my nose in a book? Like, that's it's like a cloth book. And I thought, like, people think that I am like surrounding myself with these creatures, but
Yeah.
they're in my book. They're not. And then, but I ended up walking around like a crow girl. You know, like,
Yeah.
I wanted honor.
Did you get inspiration from handkerchief?
No, I'm really troubled by the handkerchief.
The handkerchief.
It's a very troublesome phenomena of like a cloth book with crows in it that match my mug, and you open the pages are empty and blank, and you can blow your nose. in. I
Yes,
just
not
can't.
probably the
weird.
best.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing
creative.
that? And then can you imagine throwing it in the wash?
No.
Like washing your book? I have a problem with this concept.
Now, what about the issue of promoting your books? Like, because my publishers have been American, which is in some ways really good, and in some ways not so good up here, because a lot of the promotion ends with me, and so I end up going into bookstores and like, I feel like I'm going in cap in hand. Would you like to take my book? You know, and that can be a bit tricky and difficult. So I wanted to see if you have similar.
I have something to say, but go ahead first. Take a shot.
I just have the chapbook through Leaf Press and Ursula Additional.
Ursula. One thing, I mean,
yes, of course.
Jennifer, maybe you'll be able to say something about that, but like I